Hello, lovers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Isabella Flames, and probably you have seen me naked already. I want to start this beautiful project, and I want to share with you this podcast, a new project that I have in mind for a couple of years. And it wasn't until um, a lot of events that happened recently that it really motivate me and inspire me to share with you a lot of stories, a lot of beautiful things. It just happened to me, but it will happen for everybody. So, as I said, the reason what I was away for a while is because I was working myself internally, spiritually, but I have a lot of secrets that I had to tell you. So that is important. So that's the reason why I want to dedicate this first episode of my Undercover Christian, the podcast with Isabella Flames, to this beautiful man. Oh, man, the light. This is lightning because he's an angel. He's an angel. If you don't know him, his name is Charlie Kirk. Charlie was an American conservative patriot that very young he decided that he wanted to share with people about knowledge, about freedom, and he wanted to debate people because he knew that there is a lot of lack of information out there. Or, he definitely knew that the majority colleges, institutions, universities, they are just a machine of indoctrination. And I follow him. It broke my heart what happens to him. And this is the reason what I want to share with you about my story, about my journey, and what is the significance and how important it is for me to continue to the mission of Charlie to talk about faith, to talk about love, to talk about freedom. So, yeah, all right. So let's start with my confession. As you probably know, again, I was years ago, I started in the journey of finding myself in different levels, in all levels. But one of those levels that I really wanted to focus was my spirituality, my sexuality. So years ago, I started, meeting people, understanding what I was looking for. I don't know what happened in the light. Anyway, so I was in this adult industry and I met a lot of beautiful people, not so beautiful people. But what I want to confess is that the reason why for the last couple of years I was away is because I was preparing to tell you guys what was going on with me, and what was the reason. A lot of people wants to know, like how do you get, into adult industry? Maybe because you want money, because you want to be rich and famous? Not at all. That has never been my purpose. The purpose is because since I was very young, I am very confident with my sexuality. And that was the opportunity. And yeah, I took the chance. However, the last, I will say, few years when I kept doing it, I have a mission. And some people doesn't know, but I was working as a undercover model for adult content because I was like a little spy for a nonprofit organization that is investigating human trafficking. All the stuff that I can't say because I can be get censored. So I was like, undercover, and in the meantime, I was undercover. I was just enjoying myself, getting to know people, flying, traveling, having a wonderful, beautiful relationships, friendships, anywhere, everywhere. And that's the reason why I was doing adult content. But more than that, there is something for me that is so important. And I believe that not a lot of people is talking about. And I'm referring to this, for example, if you can see, this is from the Science of Freedom Foundation, because unfortunately there is a big, big, big problem that nobody's talking, and it's the freedom of the ones that are being adopted, the ones that are being trafficked, and nobody actually talks about them. And I believe it's so really incredible that there is not a topic that should be on top of our heads, because once you're free, so you lose your freedom, you're losing your identity, you're losing yourself, you're losing your soul. You don't know who you are. And it really sucks. I've been in this journey and I met a beautiful, wonderful person. This is another beautiful soul that we met a long time ago. We actually did podcast and pretty much talking about the same topic because, oops, sorry. In case you think this guy is gone, the problem's still there, and it's really bad. It's really bad. So this podcast and this content that I'm going to create now not only is going to talk about like the risks and a lot of dark actually paths that the industry can take, because when people talk about pornography, or what we're gonna say, corn, they always associate it with something negative. And I get it, sometimes it can be dark, but not necessarily it's going to be almost dark, because it's a wonderful, actually, for adults, it's a wonderful place that you can express yourself. I mean, I was wondering, if God has made me to his image, what is the problem for me to be naked? I always wonder that, but I understand that there is a lot of misinformation also. There is also missing maybe sexual education. Like, I always thought, if I would be like my 15, 14-year-old back on, and I wouldn't have the help, the guide that I had before within my family members, I will probably be, like at this time, maybe, I don't know what, 5 children, I guess. I don't know. Because sexuality is not to be avoided. Sexuality is to be educated, understanding, comprehending. And that way you can understand what's happening in your body, what's happening in your mind, but most importantly, what's happening in your heart. So, yeah, well, out of the investigations that actually personally I did, I travel across the country, and I will say that only two agencies were like convicted or were, investigated because they were nasty. They were really bad people. And that is also, I want to open this channel and my heart for people like you that maybe wants to do this but doesn't know where to start. Maybe you have, questions. I would love, love, love to address them and answer them based on my experience, because I'm not an expert, but I will say that I'm talking about my experience only. Okay. So if you want to DM me or send me a message, share with me your story, crazy story. That's what we're going to talk about over here. All right. So there is no restrictions about topics. I am very conspiracy paranoid, so we're gonna talk about a lot. We're gonna talk about a lot. So join me in this beautiful journey. Again, I'm very happy to be out there and share my story. I'm gonna share with you a lot of stories, and I'm very thrilled that I'm started again. And yeah, just I'm so thrilled. But anyway, this podcast has been dedicated for those that maybe they're shy, maybe they just don't feel like, or they don't fit somewhere. I want to be your friend. I want to be your, I will give you my best advice, but I only say, I have found my freedom. I'm a happy person. I'm a lover. I'm not a hater. I don't judge based on my faith. I'm Christian because, no, I'm not religious. I'm just a human being. And I try to be as good as possible. I have a wonderful example in my life. I was my grandpa and my mother. And I want to share. I want to share with you all my love, my knowledge, and my time. So, yeah, I think for now, this is my first approach to get in touch with you. Um, we're gonna be together every Monday, to start the week. I'm not ashamed of body. I'm a very happy person. I'm just trying to inspire people. Like, you don't have to follow, be here on the right, on the left. No, you have to open your spiritual eye. You have to open your heart to see what's going on in the world. Right now is a lot of hate. And with hate, we're not going to win. Only lovers will win. Okay. So, um, yeah, I will be in touch. This was my confession. Guilty. I'm guilty. And yeah, if you like this content, please reach out to me respectfully, please. I have so much topics that I want to talk. I have friends that I want to invite over, but I don't want to be overwhelming. Like, no, like 3 hours podcast. It depends on the topic. Yeah, but In my case, I want to keep it like short, easy to understand, easy to listen in, and most importantly, genuinely. It's a genuine material content coming from my heart. And stay tuned, lovers. But we're going to finish. Every podcast is going to be finished with the meme of the week because memes are important. So, anyway, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for your time. God bless you always. And I'll see you soon.
Are you babies? Are you the babies? Are you a precious babies? Are you a pretty baby? Are you my babies? Say, I love Daddy.